Hello everybody, it's Joanne here and it's time for some live crafting and card making. So if you are new to me, my name is Joanne Rogers. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I am so glad that you are here with us today. So I am in a brand new space. It almost sounds a little echoey in here, doesn't it? As you come on, please let me know where you're watching from. Also let me know, is this the very first time that you have joined me for a live paper crafting? Because I've been around for a few years now. And I'm always happy to bring you different ideas, different techniques, things to help you improve your card making, little tips and tricks to maybe make things go faster, help you save money. I'm all about those kinds of things. I'm a bit of a big tipper, actually. So I usually ask you a question as we get started, and my question today is, let me see, what is the most interesting thing that you see behind me? I am in a brand new space. First live here. I worked the weekend to try and get myself a little bit set up. This is some of my stuff, but not all of my stuff. So I have a bunch of boxes that have not even, I have not taken the X-Acto knife to that tape yet. So I have still got a lot to do, because in this room I will do all of my stamping, all of my paper crafting, also calligraphy. I do calligraphy, and I'll also do my jewelry making and just about anything else. So next week I'm going to be having a little bit of a party, shall we say, and I'm still thinking through it. So take a look at your email over the next couple days, and I hope that you're signed up for my email. You can do that on my blog, which is at www.designwithjo.ca. And you can get signed up for my email, because I'm going to extend an invitation to all of my customers about having some free time, some free things to do next week. And we're going to do it in the mornings. We're going to do like half an hour every morning, and it's a free event. We're going to talk about organizing tips. We're going to talk about, we're going to do some cards. We're going to just do some secret stamping as well. We're going to just have some tricks of the trade that I do, some of the things I do with my tools to keep them updated. I'm going to show you some stuff. I've got lots rolling around in my head right now, and I just have to get it all down on paper. So let me know if you would be up for that. And it is a no demonstrator event, so it is customers only, just to let you know. But I'm also going to have, I think, a freebie at the end of it. So I'm just planning that and thinking about it right now. So hello. So the question for everybody was, what's the most unusual, unique, interesting thing that you happen to see behind me? As I said, this is my brand new area, and I'd love to talk about it because it's sort of fun right now. So ask your questions. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place. I have a new setup, so everything is a little bit new right now for me. Actually, I was a little nervous coming on today too. So, oh, it's nice and bright. I see that. So I'm hoping that I'm coming to you loud and clear as well. Give me a thumbs up if that is the case. In the comments, please just let me know, because I want to be nice and bright. I want you to be able to see really well. And I also want you to ask questions. Ask questions. And if you have any questions of me and my room and how I stamp and how I create, go ahead and ask them. If it's questions about what I'm doing or a technique or a tool, and if there's somebody else who's on the live who can answer the questions, by all means, please go ahead and answer those questions. We are a community of crafters, and we have a lot of fun. Okay, so we're going to play with Pick of the Patch, and we're going to play today with the punch. And I showed you a couple weeks ago how great I think this stamp set is just on its own when you can use a solid image. We're going to use these solid images again, and I've placed them on my stamp the way that we are going to cut them out. And I have a video on how to do this. If you want to head on over to my YouTube channel, and you can see exactly how we do that. I think I did it with the Stamparatus, but it's exactly the same concept. Okay, so I've pulled out Happy Halloween. I've pulled out these ones here, which fit the punch, the leaf, which fits the punch, and the little, what is that? stock, I guess, and then also the face, the Happy Halloween face. So we are going to play with these, so let's sort of get going. Now we're also going to play, let me find a piece of black, we're going to play with vellum. So these are different vellums that have designs in them. And see, I've lost everything. I could not find, I had a little piece of paper that had these on there that showed you what each of them was and the number. So I'm just looking it up right now underneath in the catalog to see if I can tell you where they are. And I can't see it. Anybody can tell me who's on? What is the name of this vellum? Because I've used it before and oh, here it is, Vellum Basics. I was going to say that. So it's on page 133, and it's a 12 by 12. You get 2 sheets of each one of these designs, and it's $13.75. So here's the first design. It's leaves. Okay, so there's our leaves. Next one is diagonal stripes, and the next one are polka dots. So which one would you like us to use today? Leaves, stripes, or polka dots? Hello, Mary. Glad that you are here. Hello, Joan. Glad that you are here too. Let me know which one you want to use. Put it into the comments, and that's what we are going to use today. So we are going to start by using our Stampin' Pierce mat that I have covered with some grid paper. This is looking a little disreputable, but it's not bad. So we have 1 stripes from Peggy, and I'm just going to leave those there for just a moment. Hello, Sherry. Glad you're here. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to see Regency Park paper. Thank you, Melissa. Leaves. Hello, Pat. How are you? Leaves. Looks like leaves are what we're playing with today. Okay, so leaves, because I only said, 2 stripes. Oh, but there's another leaves from Joan. Okay, so let's go with leaves. And I'm going to put the other off to the side. Now you can barely see that, I know, but we are going to stamp, and we're going to do a few different things. I'm going to show you how to, that's not the color I want. This is what I want. We are going to use Cajun Craze here. I'm going to open that up. I have some older stamp pads here, and we're going to use Old Olive as well. And we're going to use 2 little pieces of tape. And because we have 4 stamps on the block here, I want half of my stamps to be one color, and I want the other half, oops, I'm going to go this way. That's a smaller piece. The other half of my stamps to be in another color. So let's just do that. And we're going to go on with, we're going to pick up some of our Cajun Craze. Okay, so you're just going to, because it's bigger, the stamp pad is bigger, the stamps are bigger than our stamp pad, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to tap this all over upside down. Now notice how those pieces of tape are just covered with ink. Make sure that you take those off before you try and do anything else. Okay, so let's take that off. And you also want to try, oh no, and I took the stamp right off. So we're going to do something different with that guy. I just want to be really careful and not get ink on myself. Okay, so I'm just going to put that into the garbage. And I'm going to grab a small stamp for this one. Okay, so he was on there not that great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this leaf with my Old Olive. Now, if it's hard for you to ink it up that way, because it's a big pad and a little piece, that's where your Stampin' Write markers come in. So I'm going to use the brush tip. There's 2 of them here. There's a thick line and a thin line. The thin line is a bullet tip brush marker, and the thick line is a brush tip marker. And you can just go right over top. Now it's going to give you a slightly different texture doing it this way than it would with the stamp pad. With the stamp pad, you're going to get that foamy kind of coverage. Here we're going to get, it won't be lines, but just know that it won't be quite the same. So we are going to stamp right over top. Now I realize that you can barely see that. We're going to stamp right over top. Now it stayed probably pretty wet on top of there, but I'm going to stamp down. I'm going to press with a fair bit of pressure. because I do want to make sure that I get all of that ink coverage transferring from my stamp to my paper. So this is going to be pretty wet. Okay, so we are using vellum paper because it's plastic. Now we have, hold on a second, we're going to go with the other paper. One thing that's really nice about this is that you're going to have ink left over. So we are also going to put it on top of the striped paper, just like a few of our folks wanted to see the stripes. I think, who was it that wanted stripes? Was it Joanne? I think, and I can't recall who it was. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure on there because there wasn't as much ink. So now I'm going to lift that up, and you have two impressions. One's a little bit darker than the other. So now what we're going to do, and I haven't forgotten about this guy, but we'll do him later. Oh, one more thing first though. We are going to make a Halloween face on, how about on this one? Let's do it on this guy. Now I do wish that there was one more Halloween face on these pumpkins if we had another choice. But we're going to go with what we have here. And we are going to pick up our clear embossing powder, and you're going to put that everywhere. Okay, it's going to be hard to see, but you'll know that you have full coverage because it looks dull now. Okay, so it looks like it's almost opaque, I guess. Well, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Almost sort of like you're looking at it through a piece of vellum. So it gets a little bit lighter. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat that up with our heat tool. So with our heat tool, we want to use, with the Stampin' Up! Heat tool, there are two settings, 1 and a 2. So a 2 is a higher heat setting, and a 1 is a lower heat setting. When you are heating onto your vellum, you want to use your number 1. But for me, I like to use my number 2 to get it all heated up, and then I'll go into my number 1. Now here's a little tip for embossing, and it's one that I've known for years and I do not do, but I thought I better do it. So I've taken just an old cutting board of mine and I've covered it with tin foil. So the heat is going to be reflecting from the bottom up, and we're going to it'll actually allow us to heat a little bit quicker, so we'll get our things done. Okay, Joan, that's a great idea. Joan's idea is to use the taco faces from the Taco Fiesta set. Okay, so that's heating up. So now I'm just going to hold these in place. I'm going back to my number 1 setting, and we're going to have to hold it in place just a little bit longer than we would normally. But you're going to see it change. But what's going to be cool is that, can you see those leaves coming out? Those leaves are going to come out quite a bit on here. And they just sort of appear once you are embossing. Can you see them coming out? It's really quite cool. Now you can do this as well with just plain vellum. You don't have to use these ones that have the stripes or the dots, but it is going to give you a totally cool look. Okay, make sure that that's heated up. And you just want to take a look at it. You want to move it one way and then the other and make sure there's no dark places showing. Okay, you want it to be as shiny as possible. Put that one over there. And go here on this one. So that was the leaves. Let's now see what the stripes do. Let's see if they show up as much as the leaves did. And I'm not seeing it. It's not coming as much. Now this one as well was the lighter ink color than what we had. But I don't think I think maybe the stripes just don't come out as much. Turn that off. So here's what we have. Okay, so we have, you can see them a little bit there. You can see them just sort of lightly. Here you can really see the leaves coming through, which is quite cool. Okay, so we're going to put that off to the side now. And we are going to use our punch. So our punch here is in the same, except for that little guy, which I'm still going to do. We are just going to punch this out like this. We're going to fit it right inside, and it should fit in there pretty close. Whoop, except you know what? I could see when I put it in there that I have not heated that enough. Whoop. So I'm just going to get the bottom of that leaf a little bit more. So it's never really too late, as long as vellum is plastic. So it has, it won't dry. It really won't dry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick that in there, and now I should be able to get it. Okay, so your little pieces are going to fit right in place, hopefully, if I've done a pretty good job of getting them in place. Okay, so here we've got our leaves and our pumpkin, and let's do this one at the same time. Okay, so we're going to have a couple different options, and what we are also going to have is we're going to have a slight color variation. Okay, so we've got those guys. So now let's just do a couple of these in green. So I'm just going to use my guy up here. Now I'm going to turn this upside down. And I think I'm going to try that. One on the leaves and one. Now which way do I want? I want this one to go here, this way. And make sure you don't get your finger in that wet ink like I almost did. So who has tried this technique before? Who has tried to emboss on vellum, give it a clear coat, and then cut it out? Anybody? It does really give you a really kind of neat effect. Okay, so now to punch him out, I don't know why it's a him. Why is that a him? Now I can just go right over top and right over top. Or look a little close. That one's a little harder to see. The leaves one, a little harder to see. Okay, so we have a few pieces here. Now, one thing I have noticed is, so there's our stripes and our stripes. Here's our leaves. I'm not too sure which one is which there. One thing I have noticed is that I do want to put these on top of some of our just regular cardstock. So when I asked the VIPeeps what colors they wanted to do today's project in, rather than going for traditional orange and black or even green and purple and what's the word, orange, they wanted to go for fallish kind of Halloween. So that's why we're going with Cajun Craze. So we're going to go for, I might see if I can get two more out of there. Will I be able to get two? Oh, I can't. I'll have to get another piece. But maybe that's enough for us. Okay, so let's do some magic with our silicone craft sheet. And I have a piece of foam with an alligator clip. This one here I've used a little bit already. And we are going to put a little bit of glue, just some of our liquid glue. We're going to pick it up. I'm going to take one of those. I'm going to take one of those. And let's go for our face here. Upside down on top of the vellum. Now what's cool about this, when you have two things happening, you have color on the vellum and you have the leaves, you don't have to worry as much about your glue showing through. Okay. So I like it on top of a piece because it just gives it a little bit more solidness. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pumpkin pie. Hold on. I have a cool drawer right next to me that I cannot see pumpkin pie in right now. There it is. That I can just pull out a piece of cardstock. It's really close, which is great. Okay, and we're going to get everything here, but that's okay. And now we're going to put it on top of orange. So you don't have to go for the same color. Let's go for that guy. Same thing. A little bit of glue because I don't have enough left there. We're going to turn it over and we're going to sponge all over the top. Now you could use double-sided adhesive here if you want, but when I'm doing that, I'm going to make sure I'm going the right way here. Yes. When I've done that, one thing you have to keep in mind is that you're heating it up with clear embossing powder. So you're actually also going to be heating up your adhesive. So to me, that's probably not the best thing. Okay, we're going to take a couple leaves here. We're also going to take, where's our little guy there? And so you could play and play and play with these. All right, so all it is, we've got a punch. We like punches because they're easy to use. You don't have to get out your Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and you could take it with you too. It's a little, you know, you do have a Stamp and Cut little mini guy, but this one you don't have to. I'm going to get glue on myself. You don't have to worry. You just take it with you, your punch. It's very, what is the word I want? Transportable. That's not the word I want. What's the word I want? You guys know. Come up with a word for me. Don't you just hate when that happens? You can't think of the word? Well, transportable will do. Okay, so now I've got my pumpkin. I'm going to do two things. With this top, I'm going to use it both ways. Okay, versatile, thank you. Mobile, that's another good word. Thank you guys for helping me out there. We're going to use the top, the fat part on one pumpkin, and we're going to use the skinny part on the other pumpkin. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of glue right on that. And right now, I'm not really worried if I have stripes or leaves. Doesn't matter to me which is which. So let's give this guy that one. And I know you can't really see that. I like when my pumpkin goes, the little stem goes off to the side just a little bit. And where's our other guy? Here he is here. And we'll put this one. So you do need to have him go that way. Okay, so because I have a little bit of glue on my finger, I really should clean it off. And then we can either go like that with the leaves, or we can also put that in behind with some green. Anybody have any comments or questions? And I didn't see how many people. What's the one thing about really fun with your punches is that everything goes everywhere, right? We are going to also give this guy just a little bit so that it will go onto our olive. That's nice and sticky. Okay. And here, I think I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue on this one. I'm not going to worry about putting green in behind this one. It's going to just have a slightly different look to it. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Let this one dry. Okay, and we are now going to do the rest of the card. And I won't forget about these things. We might pull them in and use them too. But I'm just going to put them aside for now. So, in keeping with a Halloween card, I wanted to use some paper. Okay, so we're going to go with Cajun Craze because that's what we wanted, rust instead of pumpkin pie. And this piece of designer paper is from the pack that is Them Bones. Okay, so this is the color that we have. The colors are great. They're Starry Sky in here. So I'm going to tell you about that one in just a minute, but this is some of the paper. Let me move these inks here right now. Okay, nice, great backgrounds, tombstones, dancing skeletons, and just some stripes. So that would actually go really nicely with our diagonal stripes on the vellum. And then there's this piece here, which is actually meant to be backgrounds on your cards. And you cut it down and you use it. Before I tell you or show you the ones I've cut down, let me just take these ones here, okay, and show you the backgrounds. So much more colors that he's upside down, but colors that are more in our grays, our oranges, and our black. So on that one that you cut, this is what you get. Okay, so this is what you get after you cut them out. They have the boo and eek on the back, and I've cut this one here down, so it was a little bit bigger, and I cut it down, took off a piece like this. So we're going to put that onto our card, but we're going to do a couple things first. So I've cut out 2 of the deckled circles, and I've cut them out to be the same size. Now the deckled circles are these dies right here, and these are wonderful. Everybody's been playing with these. They're nested, they're great. There are tons of different ones. There's 14 different sizes in here. This largest one is 5 3/4. It is huge. So, well, it's not huge, but it's a good size. So I've cut out 2 of the, what one did I go with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th largest, or the 5th smallest, whichever way you look at it. And I've just cut these out with basic white and old olive. And I'm going to glue these together sort of like that, just so that they are offset. And we are going to glue them together. Thank you for sharing, Shar. And anybody else, if you would love to share, and I would love for you to share, please go ahead and do that so that other people who are crafters and people who love to have some fun with paper would benefit maybe from a class. So we're going to go with this guy here, and we're going to put our pumpkins on. Okay, and we're probably going to, I think maybe we might want them to go this way so that we can see that leaf. Okay, we're going to put those on after we're done. But what I want to do first is I want to stamp our Happy Halloween. Okay, so our Happy Halloween is going to go right on the top. Let me pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat again, move those guys out of the way. And I want it to be on the top. And I'm hoping that it's going to be straight. There we go. Okay, just using our old olive, that up there. And I want to put this on so it's on half, it's almost all on, but I want a little bit that I'm going to cut off. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down right now before I put this onto the card. I'm going to use my liquid glue for that. I'm going to put it all around here where the words are. I'm going to leave it off of this part right here, because I don't want to, it's a waste of glue if I do, and it'll stick everywhere. Let me just grab my silicone craft sheet again, which does have glue on it, so I want to be careful putting it on here. I'm going to try and get that straight. Okay. That off to the side. Get all my little pieces, I don't want to lose them. And I'm going to cut this off now in line with our piece of paper. Use my paper snips to do that. And I'm just taking the shank and I'm running it right up against the side of the paper. And that's going into the garbage. Okay, so it just gives you a slightly different look. Okay, so when you have some of your circle cut off. I'm going to go ahead and fold this now. You can get all of the measurements. You'll be able to get the measurements tomorrow on my blog so that you'll be able to make this yourself. Okay, we're going to glue that straight down. I'm going to use my seal. Okay, now here's something with your seal. If you can't get it going, now of course I got it going, but if you can't, run it over top of your silicone craft sheet. And try not to get it where there's glue. And we're going to put that right down on top. Okay, got that. We're going to put this little guy here. It's going to go off the edge of the circle. And I'm going to put that one down with glue. Now I do have a Christmas design that I want to show you too, as well as 2 other Halloween designs. So I'm just going to go she's. This one's a she. Why is this one a she? I have no idea why that one's a she. And I'm going to put this one on with dimensionals. So 2 should do you just fine with your dimensionals. You can take them off with your hands just like that, or I'm going to put that here. or you can use your take your pick tool as well. And I think maybe, do we want to put that leaf in there? Yes, we're going to put that leaf in there. Just going to finish it off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the edge of the leaf and tuck that inside. And I'm going to try and get it so that it goes in there fairly far. Okay, so that is that. Now I think we probably need a little bit of bling. So let me see what we have. We can do some gray, or what else could we do? We can do brush metallic. Those are your choices for today. Let me know which you would like to use to decorate that up, because it will look cool when decorated up. And you know what? I think we might need some ribbon. Let me see how far my mic goes. Hold on a sec, because the ribbon is at the back. Oh, it's just far enough. Can you see me? No, you can't, because you... What am I talking about? Because you're looking down. So I have this stuff right here, which is, this twine here might look sort of cool. So that's sort of grayish. This is the Pebbled Path. And this is the In Color Jute trim. And we are going to use that. I'm going to turn this into a little bit of what is this? A bow, a little bow. Doesn't have to be very big, but the natural goes really well with these kind of colors. So I think it just needed a little bit of something there. Okay, now this jute, one thing I've noticed about it is that it sort of goes off on its own. So you have to be okay that it's going to have a little bit of personality. Personality is great on our cards. We don't want them to look cookie cutters. We don't want them to look like everybody else's. We want it to be something of ours, something that we created. Okay, so there we have a bow. I'm going to trim that in just a minute. And I'm going to trim it right down here. And I don't know, that other one? I don't know. And I just said I like personality, but I don't know. Now, one little guy that I created is, there's a little crow inside there. Do we want our little crow to go anywhere here? Let me know if you'd like to see him there. And did I see what you guys wanted to use for embellishments? Let me see. Brush metallic, brush metallic. It looks like brush metallic. Okay, that's what we're going to use. Pull those out. And thank you everybody for sharing. I really do appreciate that. Where's my take your pick tool? There it is. I think that we might go for, what's going to show up the best here? What about on the pumpkin? Yeah, I think so, eh, Mary? Pumpkin, and I don't know, this guy here. Put him here. We could put him there. He's going to stick out though. I could put him here, but then he interferes with the Happy Halloween. We could put him on this guy right here. So I could stick him in the back there. Where is he better? Is he better up near the words, or is he better down near the pumpkin? And let me know. Yes, the crow looks great, Diane says. Perfect. I think we're going to go for gold here. We're going to go for gold. And I am going to put some, let's put one right up here beside the Happy Halloween and near the pumpkins. We're getting some folks saying near the pumpkins. Now, one of the things about this guy, because there's no punch, and I would have to cut him out of gray or cut him out of black, I tried a black mini dimensional, and you could see it right through there. So I'd recommend no dimensionals at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue him down a little bit, and he's going to be peeking out from behind. I wonder if I can do this. I could now. I think maybe his tail's going to have to stay there. Okay, so a little bit of glue on the back of him. Going to go back into our trusty, now you don't need very much glue. You've noticed how much I'm putting down here, hardly any, and you want less rather than more. Now, one thing about the crow, when I was doing this before, I'm going to show you with the sample, is I actually did this and then I lifted off and I ripped my piece of vellum. So you want to be gentler on the crow. There. Actually, he fits in there perfectly. Okay, so I'm not finished what I was doing. Let's put another one here. Do I want some more? I think so. I want one there. And let's put one more. Maybe we'll put one up here. Okay, there is our card. What do you guys think? Do you like that one? Is there anything else that we needed to do sort of to fancy it up? Now I'm going to hold this up so that you can see the leaves in here. It is a really cool way to use your vellum if you have some that has the designs in it like that one. Now this is done with Memento Black for the crow. Sorry, that is the basic gray for the crow. So there's the one we just made. Okay, now I'm going to show you the first one that I made, which is a little bit more traditional Halloween colors. Okay, so this is the guy too that I ripped. So you can maybe see right there, he's coming apart. But this pumpkin here, rather than, I used pumpkin pie and I sponged on the ink. And you can really see, that's really quite cool. There's a real texture there. And that one's done on the dots, okay? Just with some of the cardstock in behind. And here I just did a cutout with some of that paper in behind, okay? So a totally different look, exactly the same technique. And here's another one. So here's another one using the small guy for the face. There's also a tree, and I changed the shape of the tree because it's photopolymer. I can move it around. So I changed the shape of the tree, stuck our crow in the tree, put some of our leaves around. This is a flap fold card. Okay, you can see that guy in the middle. And then I have one more for Christmas. So for the Christmas one, I wanted to do and I can't think of the stamp set. I put it away and, I can't think of the name of it. Let me find the name for you so that you know which one I'm using. It's towards the back. It's on the same page that the deckled circles are on. So if I can find those deckled circles, I'm going to town here. Let me see, I've probably just passed them. All right, where is it? This is Twice Today. There they are. Page 63. So this is Cheers to the Season. So it's this one right here. Okay. And it's very subtle. So this one as well is the leaves. Okay. You can see the leaves coming through. So this one here, 'Tis the Season, and I use soft sea foam in the background, and then I sponged on 3 different colors of green. And then this one is all just a reverse fold card, so just a simple card, also using the deckled circles. Okay, so there's some different designs for you. Let me know which one you like the best and which one you think you might even try if you were going to try this. And thanks for joining me. I'm glad that you came and saw what was going on in my studio today. I will be back, but also take a look in your email because I'm going to sit down this afternoon and I'm really going to think about what my free classes and that are going to be for next week. And anybody who is a customer of mine, no demonstrators please, can attend that. So looking forward to really putting some thought into that and seeing how much fun we can have. Everybody have a great afternoon. I hope I'll see you again soon. And if you are on the replay, please ask questions, share it. And I love seeing you guys and I love to see the interaction. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.